Alright, yesterday I did Run for the Trail 7K, which is like 4.4 miles on the Ghost Town Trail, starting at Dilltown. Time was 25:45. I was second overall, a couple minutes behind first. Did the race like 6 or 7 times now, something like that. They usually give out railroad spikes to the age group winners in the, gold, silver, bronze, and like little CHOOOO wooden train things for top 3 overall. So I finally got myself a CHOOOO yesterday. Kind of happy about that, even though it wasn't first. I'll take top 3 and finally get one out of the, like I said, 6 or 7 tries, I guess. I've always got the age group otherwise, so I'm kind of happy. Performance wasn't as great as it could have been. I still wouldn't have came in first. The guy who won is just better than me. Even if I had my A game, he still would have destroyed me. But coming off a week after I, got some stitches in my knee, didn't run at all until Friday, so I didn't really run until after Saturday afternoon till Friday afternoon at all. Pretty much slept after work. Couldn't barely walk all week. So I'm going to take that as a win. Actually was kind of tight for the race. I think it's more the more the bruising than the stitch itself. So I put on some like muscle leave-in cream, like on the bruised part, not on the actual like scab stitch area. Seemed to help a little bit. It was still kind of tight when I got to the race. I bent my leg a little bit. It seemed to help, and then once we got going, it seemed to be pretty fine, pretty good, whatever wording that you want to use there. I was running pretty good. But yeah, it was a good crowd. I know over 100 people. I want to say pushing 120. I know there's like 121 or something like pre-registered. I'm sure a couple day of, and people didn't show. So I'm gonna just, off the hand, I'm just gonna call it 120 even that participated, give or take either direction. But it's a race put on by the Indiana Road Runners. You got usually a good crowd there. Like Central Cranberry brings their team, cross country team down. And there's usually like some United cross country kids and a couple other cross country teams usually bring some people. So it's usually pretty good competition because you get all those like high school kids that can just like turn and burn, and then us old folk, we have to compete with that. I don't know if it was a weak field this year or if I just ran better than I have before on it, finishing second. I'm gonna actually have to look. I didn't get a chance to look yet. I've been on the go since the race. Kind of curious to see what my time was. I want to say it was probably a PR for the course, or damn near close to it. I think I've always at least been like a 26 or 27. So I probably should have did that before I did this, but hell with it. I'll do it in the actual like typing the race recap part. But yeah, I was talking to a bunch of people, saw a bunch of friends there before the race. Like I said, I wasn't sure what my performance was actually gonna be for the race, what I was gonna be capable of doing. I didn't race it. I signed up for a 5K in the morning up at Schellsburg, the Heshburger. I didn't end up going to that. To rest a little bit and put more effort into the 7K because I saw the Schellsburg one was on like a gravel trail, and the stability of my knee area isn't the greatest yet. I can still run a little bit like flat, I can tolerate, but I don't want to hurt it on the gravel, so I didn't go, and was like, I'll just rest and see what happens, which was actually a smarter move. So I had to get caught up trying to win a race or go up against some youngsters in the early morning, so I definitely had more energy than normal for the 7K, because every year I end up racing before the 7K something stupid, like usually, actually I think I don't know if it's usually a 5K or like something like that beforehand, so I'm usually tired before the race to begin with, so that never helps. Plus this year was actually probably only like 70-ish degrees. Most of the time it's like 85 to 95 degrees and sunny all day, so the asphalt gets really warm, and then the heat just radiates back up on you, making it even warmer out, you know, like above 100 and humid. This year, like I said, it was like 70, and it really wasn't sunny all day. It was kind of overcast, so the race was actually kind of cooler than normal, which was nice as well. That probably helped me get a lower time than I was actually expecting. I would have been happy doing 7-minute miles, at least going into it. I'm trying to think. Yeah, so we started, because actually, if you never saw the video, I have it up on YouTube, the race course. I'm running for the trail 7K. You actually start out on the Aurora Road, like the next road up from the Dilltown trailhead, and then you run out like 2 miles, and where it actually circles out and around, and then hits the Ghost Town Trail for like the last 2 miles. I would say it's pretty even, because you're actually basically going out and around and doing like a big horseshoe. So it's probably like 2.2 on the road before you hit the last 2.2 on the actual Ghost Town Trail. But the Aurora Road, it's got some nice little whatchamacallit, rolling hills. Sorry, I'm having trouble with R's because I'm getting kind of tired today. So actually a couple of those could be real leg burners depending on how fast you're running. Yeah, so I just was trying to play it smart early on, and I knew where the rolling hills were, like the incline parts, so I knew how to attack him a little bit better. But I took off out the gate. I figured, what the hell, just bust my ass and go to start, see what happens. If the leg feels bad, you know, pull back and just shoot for your age group, because I didn't see too many people there in like the 30-39 age group. So like at the very worst, I thought I could like take that if I couldn't keep ahead of some of the youngsters. But I took off with first. Made some quick work of the youngsters, gapped them pretty good. I know I ran side by side with first for a few seconds. I don't know how long. I don't think I ever really had the lead. Maybe I did for a few seconds, but not that it was a big deal. Like I said, he's a faster runner than me. So that, yeah, he just didn't slowly like gap me and put on more and more space as the race went on. Before the end of the road portion, like the Aurora Road, there's a couple houses like where it starts to U around. Some guy's dog started chasing first place. He was probably 15-20 seconds ahead of me at the time. I pulled back a little bit, just not knowing what that dog was going to do when I came up, as the owner was chasing him, like chasing the dog down. So I slowed up. I probably lost 20-30 seconds there, because if the dog wasn't friendly, I didn't want to get bit or have to deal with it. So I pulled back so the owner had time to get the dog, which happens every damn year. Somebody on that road has a dog out in the yard and it chases somebody. And it's always like, well, thankfully it's not been me yet, but every year I've seen a dog chasing like somebody that's always been ahead of me. So let's hope if I do it again, that keeps that streak alive, and it's not me. But I would say, yeah, I was pretty much locked in the second place the whole race. Maybe a tenth or two, like when I was running right beside first. I don't know, I just felt like I burned up too much energy on the road. I know the first like 2 miles were sub 6s, which is kind of shocking. I really wasn't going for that. Like I said, I would have been happy with 7s. Really was shooting for like 6.5, so like 2 sub 6s right off the gate. Now it was really kind of holy shit type deal.
Truly turned a willing woman.
I'm trying to think other than that.
Just allowed at the idea. The old Khalid would have surrendered in an instant, but the new...
But yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I just attacked the rolling hills pretty good, and then I did start to die a little bit. I know I was leaning back too much, hill striking a lot, even though I had more endorphin pros on. It wasn't my intent, but it was just the way I had to run with my knee. But then once I hit the trail, I noticed my breathing was pretty heavy because I was just getting winded, just being out of shape, not running for a week. So yeah, I forced myself to lean forward more, and I slowed my breathing down. I took some more deep, longer breaths. That seemed to really rejuvenate me a little bit more, give me more energy. I think because I was just breathing too fast, well, I don't want to call it heavy. It was more like quick, deep, quick breaths. So the oxygen wasn't going in my body, and it wasn't enough to actually refuel myself. So when I was taking those deeper breaths and finally like recharged my muscles a little bit, it kept me going. Not that I was going sub 6s anymore, but I was definitely under sub 7s. I would say 6:30 range, give or take 10 seconds either way. Looked back a few times, saw third was probably 20 seconds behind me, so I wasn't too worried as long as I maintained and I didn't slip. And then I noticed fourth place was 10-15 seconds behind him. So unless something drastic happened, again, if I didn't like slow up or whatnot, I could have taken second as long as I maintained. So that was my goal, just to push as long as I could, maintain, you know, trying to stay ahead. It worked. Definitely lost sight of first place after a while on the trail, but I knew I wasn't going to chase him down, so I really wasn't worried about trying to keep up. I just wanted to stay within 5 minutes of his finish time, and I did. I think it was only like 2.5 behind him. That's about it for the race. Nothing really exciting happened. I was just dying a lot, and I don't know, I'm just happy how I don't know, I'd have to look at my time to say how happy I was with how I performed, but I was definitely happy that I rested enough this week where I could actually race. Now my mouth's starting to get dry from the dusty road. But get my CHOOOO for a change. Talked to a bunch of people after the race. Eat my dilly bar that the road runners had for us as treats after the race. That's about it. I guess nothing else really exciting happened because I didn't really change position wise, and I still say some The times might have been a little bit slower this year than normal. But again, I'll have to check the times to actually verify. But either way, it's a good race put on by the Indiana Road Runners. Check it out. Look at watch the video, race course preview. Run the Trail 7K, so you get an idea of what the course is like, what it's exactly like, so you know how to tack it if you ever want to do it. But yeah, check it out for next year, and hopefully see you guys there, because the crowd does seem to change pretty frequently every year. I mean, you got your core of like 15, 20 people, but it seems like the vast majority of people change every year. Maybe that's just me, I don't know. But yeah, all right, that's it.